Hello, it's YouTube. This is Josh. I am bringing you an overview of my PedalBoard. And I just got something new today and been expanding and changing things, so I thought it'd be kind of cool to do a video, and I hope you enjoy it. So the main thing I want to talk about is this beauty up here. This is the DPC5 by Disaster Area Designs. Absolutely in love with this. I got it today, and it's a little confusing. There's a ton you can do, but once you give it a shot and play with it and understand how it works, man, is this thing awesome. So I'm going to go through just kind of how my board's set up, what I like about this and how I use it, or how I'm planning on using it, because I just got it today. So I know it's kind of lighting's a little bad, so I apologize for that, but hopefully you can see what's going on. So guitar in to a buffered input, really high quality buffer in this pedal. Sounds really, really good. I'm very pleased. Under that there is a always out jack, basically, or it's a TRS something. I don't remember exactly what it is. I have that plugged into my volume pedal, so that basically is always active, and that's before all of the other the loops in this. Then if we head over to the yellow mode, this is basically a manual mode. So this is what you would picture a standard true bypass looper, and how it works, and it works great. So I'm just going to go through my loops real quick, and I'll explain a little bit more about this pedal. So first loop, I've got my standard diamond compressor. I'm actually going to be selling this one. If any of you see this within a couple days of being up, it's probably up on eBay, or if you just want to shoot me an email and see if I still have it, or a Facebook message, or a YouTube message. I don't really care. If you want this, it's yours. So that's on my loop one. I'm getting the Deep 6 by Walrus Audio. To replace that one. I like the blend knob on that. Loop 2 goes up to my EM drive. It's kind of dark. It's by Emerson Customs. Lovely, lovely transparent overdrive. If you want just a very, very hint of overdrive, just kind of open your tone up. That's it for you. So that's loop 2. Loop 3 goes up into the Analog Man, which is nearly impossible to see. Let's see if I can focus on it at all. Analog Man printed tone. It's a burgundy little pedal there. Great overdrive pedal. It's got a three-way switcher on the top of it, unlike the King of Tone. So I like the printed tone a lot. So that's my third loop. Back over here, fourth loop goes up into the JHS double barrel. I'm actually selling this one. Just getting the Morning Glory, and I am getting the Walrus Audio Voyager. So I'm basically splitting this up, getting rid of the tube screamer. Got the Morning Glory again because I love that thing, and then getting the Voyager on the side. So as you can tell, I play my church. I like the really kind of cleanish overdrives, and all three of those do fantastic. Highly recommend that double barrel. I just don't use the tube screamer a lot, and with this new guy, having two pedals in one is not as convenient because I have it on a true bypass looper. And then my fifth, I actually go into the Blue Sky. Now I'm going to order a couple more cables, and I'm going to use something in the Panther. I actually have a video up on my channel of how to do this, but you basically run the expression out into this pedal. So when you turn this will be only on the trails of your delay, but then when I turn on the loop of the Blue Sky, it'll actually be on my original signal going into the Panther or timeline. Really cool little wiring tip. You look at my channel, I have a 5-minute video showing how I want to use that. So just gonna get a couple more George L's and run that like that. Okay, so those are the 5 loops. Now there's a lot you can do in here. So there's a violet mode, which this is a MIDI controller too. So this is actually controlling my timeline, and you can see you can go preset up, down, all through there. I can turn it off. If you know how the timeline works, you can see that patch B light going off, or if I go back to patch A, press the light off. All I'm doing is really just switching between these two buttons to go between them. This is the on-off switch, and it's got a light over here too to tell you when it's on and off, which is nice. You hold this, it gives you that infinite repeat thing that the timeline does. So basically, you can have your timeline on the back of your board and not need to touch it. And then this is tap tempo. You should be able to hear it. I'm tapping really quick or tapping really slow. It syncs up to the tap tempo over there. So you can do that with this. It's a nice MIDI controller. Here, this is one of the coolest features, is you can have presets. And so basically I have, let's say on this first preset, I have loop 1, loop 2, and loop 4. You can see those are the lights that light up. All of those get engaged, and it it selects over to a certain MIDI patch that I have, and a certain patch on my timeline. You can have it not do that, or you can customize that however you want. So literally, this is my intro to song 1, chorus to song 2. You could see that these 3 lights lit up, which means I have my my compressor, my EM drive, and my analog man on for the chorus, and then it goes over to patch B of Bank 20. So I have a dual effect on the intro, and I have a tremolo effect on the chorus. So great little device there to just run your set through. You can have all these presets. There's a way to get into you can have up to 60 presets. There's like 3 different here. You can have different folders, and then you've got the 5 in there. So you can have a ton of presets on it. I only have the 4 or 5 because that's what I got today. But I'll be wiring it up for almost every set. I will just nail that out. And if I don't want to write a preset, I can go to that manual mode, which is that orange mode, and just punch in whatever effects I want, and then manually control the timeline, or just use the Panther how I want to. So that's a nice little effect there. So then I come out of the DPC. Oh, there's also a full looper control for your timeline in here as well. If you're wondering, it does have that. And then you can configure it many different ways. It also you cannot see it. Dang it. There is a roller wheel. Maybe you can kind of get a little glare on it. There's a roller wheel here that I use an expression pedal for the timeline, and then I use my other expression pedal for the Panther. Okay, so that's that. I head out of here. Oh, those lights are so bright. Into my EP pre, which is basically just a boost for a solo if I want to, or just to kind of thicken the tone for a whole set if I just want to start the set a little hotter. Depends on the tone I'm going for. Good little pedal. Head over into the Hardwire Reverb. Hardly ever use this thing now that I got the Blue Sky, but I basically use on the reverse effect. If you've never heard it, it's a great little effect here for just kind of a hummy thing dumped into your delays. So from there, that heads down into the Panther, and like I said, I'm going to be running that effects out into the Blue Sky here in a little bit, so that I can you can coordinate that, turn on my shimmer, turn it off, run whatever one I want there, and then with the true bypass looper, I can wire it how I want to. Check my channel out if you want to see that video again. Love this Panther. I got it last week. It's awesome. I didn't realize the difference between analog and a digital, but man, this thing is deep, rich, great sounding, great sounding delay. So if you got the money to drop on it, I definitely say so. I got this one for $3.95 on eBay, so you can get them a little bit cheaper. If you don't know this pedal, you might be confused about why that's cheaper, but that's what I paid for it. It's a good little pedal. That heads up to my final link in the chain, which is the Strymon timeline, which is all controlled over here via MIDI by this basically, so I don't really ever have to touch that pedal, which is much nicer. Bypass it and do everything you want to without ever having to touch it, and that's how I like to run that one. Sometimes I'll tap in up here or whatever, depending on how I'm running it. The thing I do need is an external tap to sync these two. I've looked at the Time Traveler by Tapestry Audio. I might eventually pick that up so I can program the BPM and not ever have to worry about that. Great little thing. The one thing I need to check is if it works with the timeline, because the timeline has a weird tap tempo out. So I'm going to check that, but then if I can run that tap tempo out, since I'm using the expression wheel here, I'll still have an expression control on the timeline, which I like to use just to add a little bit more analog or shorten the delays and stuff. That's my rig. There's also a tuner out right down here that heads into my tuner here. It's kind of invisible, but it's there. And you can also use a expression in here to control your MIDI pedals if you wanted to. So if I wanted to use that and control a couple pedals, there's also a TRS jack where you can plug your amp into here, and it'll actually control like the reverb and a tremolo on your amp. That gets all pretty crazy in the wiring stuff. So I've messed with that, and I'm using an Ignitor tweaker, so I don't really have many of those built-in effects. But I'm running out of time here. I use 2 Power Plus 2s to power all of this. Using current doublers and things like that to make it all work, and yeah, works good for me. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.